ESO Daily. I'm your host, Mr. Graven. Alright guys, so I have a new build for Summerset for the Magicka DK. This build will not disappoint whether you're in Battlegrounds or whether you're in Citadel. This DK build will be a hard build to take out, even against Sorcs and Nightblades. Really love this build. I'm going to introduce you today to Red Bull. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, this is a resto sword and board build, right? Heavy armor. So it's a 5-1-1 config. All right, on the resto staff, you're going to see max Magicka at 36,427. Magic recovery 1,843. Maximum health 26,144. Stamina 11,130. Spell damage 1472. Weapon damage 132. Resistance prior to buff 18,860. Physical 18,106. To the left, you're going to go ahead and see everything's allocated into max Magicka. We are a vampire stage 4, and we're using Witch Mother's Potent Brew, and we're using the Lover Mundus. Okay, sword and board side, you're going to see max Magicka jump up to 3772. Everything else is pretty much the same, except our resistance bumps up to 22 and 21. Very important. That's why we went with sword and board. We want that resistance for that passive. So very, very important that we went sword and board with this. Even though it looks like I have a mace, it's just outfitting. But it is a sword and board. All right, let's go ahead and get into the sets. Explain what I did. We're going to use the Sunset. We're going to use a Valkynscorian. And believe it or not, yep, we're going to use Kaggernax, and I'll explain why. All right, so Sunset. We're going to use the weapons of the sun in the jewelry. Why? Because we're a heavy armor build, right? We want durability. We want survivability. We want to be a pain in every Nightblade and Sorc's ass. To do that, we need resistance, right? Are you tired of getting incapped? Are you tired of getting bursted down? That's exactly what I'm tired of. So I went with more durability. And the DK has a lot of passives that enable that. Add him with heavy armor, and bam, he is a force to be reckoned with. So we're going to go with the Restoration Staff of the Sun with an increase infused. Very important to go infused. Why? Because we're lacking weapon and spell damage. We want to go ahead and proc this. We want this uptime to be consistent as possible. Now, keep in mind the Sunset's an overland set. It's going to give us max health. It's going to give us max Magicka. It's going to give us spell damage. It's going to add 391 spell damage to our flame damage ability. We are a Magicka DK. We're doing a lot of flame damage. We're going to be using Valkynscorian, so we're going to capitalize off the Sunset. Perfect. Okay, so we're also going to use Sword of the Sun. This is going to be Nirnholm, but notice I put Crusher's enchantment. All right, so in Battlegrounds, even though I'm using the Lover, I need more penetration. So I'm going to put Crushers. That's when I do a little light attack, it's going to weaken their resistance. I'm going to use Nirnholm. Why? Because I'm using self-sustaining heals on top. Just goes ahead and helps out tremendously. If you want to go sharpen, you can do that. But I went with the Nirnholm. Shield of the Sun, infused. Very important. You want infused. Why? You want max Magicka. You want to scale up your damage abilities on sword and board side. So very, very, very important to get that. All right. Valkynscorian, keep in mind, 5 heavy, 1 light, 1 medium. So this is going to be heavy. It's going to be infused. Max Magicka. Really, really nice. Curse of Kaggernax. Okay, why did I go with Kaggernax? One, it's craftable. Right? I can craft this in heavy. But let's take a look at the stats, shall we? I'm going to get max Magicka. I'm going to get recovery. Keep in mind I'm not in light armor. Right? I'm in heavy armor. So that recovery is very important for me. I need more recovery. So I'm going to utilize that. Now keep in mind heavy armor and the passive, we're going to get a 25% bonus to heavy attacks to restore stamina or Magicka. So very, very nice when we're doing heavy attacks. But once again, recovery is very important. Once again, this is also going to add max health. So I got Valkynscorian, I got Sun, I got Kags. 3 form of health, making me very durable, very tanky. Like it. I can take some hits. It's also on the 5th. It's going to give me extra spell damage. So I'm going to get spell damage towards my fire abilities from the Sun, and I'm adding that additional spell damage from the set. Now, consequently, we also get another bonus to decrease the time to resurrect allies by 25% and also restore Magicka when we successfully do so. But I didn't really care about that. I just wanted that spell damage and crafted in heavy. So our cuirass is infused, heavy, max Magicka ideal. Our shoulders, stamina. A little bit of stamina is going to help. Why? Roll dodge, and breaks. So we need some stamina. So we're going to go Impen medium, Valkynscorian. Sash of Kagernak's Hope, Impen, max Magicka, light. This is our light piece. So this is our medium and this is our light. Gauntlets of Kagernak's Hope, Divine. Remember, I'm going to be using the Lover Mundus. I wanted 1 extra piece of Divine. If you want to go 2, you can do that, but I just wanted 1, max Magicka ideal. I went with Greaves of Kagernak's Hope, infused max Magicka ideal. Sabatons of Kagernak's Impen, max Magicka ideal. If you wanted to go with the Divine here, you could do that. And then we're going to go with the Sun Jewelry, all recovery, all arcane, all recovery. Don't deviate. You need that extra Magicka. It just adds to the pool, and you need all that recovery. I still need to glyph my 2 with the 169. All right, really, really nice. Actually, I think I messed that up because I did have recovery, went spell power, and then all of a sudden didn't have another Kuda. Should be 169 though. So definitely very important. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the skills. Resto Staff. This is pretty much a bar that you're going to start off with for defensive purposes. So we're going to use Healing Ward. It can throw shield to an ally or us. That's going to be very important, in those moments that you're going to be getting pounded on. A lot of people are just going to go ahead. They're going to see that you're tanky. They're all going to jump you. You want to use Healing Ward. Why? It's throwing you a shield. It's throwing you a heal. If it goes on another person, at least it's helping them survive as well. Stone Giant. A lot of people like Fossilize. I don't. Fossilize has 8 meters. I like Stone Giant. Why? It's a CC. It's going to go ahead also stun them for 3 seconds. So I get a 3.6 second stun. I'm dealing extra damage for the distance. I have 41 meter range, and I also gain minor resolve and minor ward, increasing my spell and physical resistance further, making me even harder to kill. Really like it. Dragonfire Scales, I cannot not tell you how important this is. We all get snipes, so everybody's snipe spamming these days. You want this. Why? Deflect it. You want to deflect, and consequently, Sorcs, most of their abilities, except with the exception of Haunting Curse, are all can be reflected, right? So you can reflect majority of Sorcs attacks. So the only thing that they're going to be able to apply on you is the Haunting Curse. Other than that, most of their range abilities can be deflected. So it really comes in handy. Coagulating Blood goes without saying. Heals for 6,751 and increases up to 33% of my missing health. Also, I'm going to gain Major Fortitude. I'm a vampire. That's kind of going to be obsolete. But 33% of my maximum health, yeah, really comes in handy. Hardening Armor, it's going to increase our physical and spell resistance further. Also, we're going to get a damage shield, 7% of what? Our max health. Really, really nice. So when I go ahead, hit this, and I take a look, we have 23 and 24 on the staff side. When we go over to the shield, we're 27 and 26. Really, really tanky. Huge. Very, very impressive. I love it. I love it. Okay, I'm going to use Devouring Swarm as an oh crap, I need heals now ulti, because it's just an AoE, deals some damage, also keeps my ass alive in those oh shit moments. Okay, Sword and Board side, Empowering Chain, Flame Damage, close the gap. I'm also going to get Major Expedition. I really like it. Plus, it's going to increase my light attacks with my sword. So I'm going to go ahead, boom, and I can hit the light attacks and recoup stamina. With heavy attacks, or, hit light attacks to do a little bit more damage. Flame Lash, what can I say? We all know it. We're all going to use it. Fire damage, Sunset, remember. Burning Talons, CC effect. right? A lot of people like to go with Fiery Breath, but I want CC. I want to lock them into place, especially those little stinking Nightblades. They go popping around. You hit this, they're going to get rooted, and then all of a sudden, they're like, oh shit. So it's better than Fiery Breath in that instance because of blades. Draw Essence. This comes in handy when I have multiples on me. Why? It's going to deal flame damage. It's also going to go ahead and return Magicka. So I restore 10% of the ability's cost for each enemy hit. Keeps my ass alive and makes me restore Magicka. Like it. Flames of Oblivion. Right? Set and Forget. Also helps pop out Nightblades. It might be lurking by. Love it, love it, love it. And of course, the Ferocious Leap. So we have all fire attacks. All of it. All of it, except some defensive aspects. We have a CC, we got deflection, we got our heal, we got our armor. Really, really nice. Okay, so let's get into the champion points, shall we? Starting off into the Apprentice, we got 6.17 into Blast. You can take this up a little bit higher, but for me, I find it just nice where it's at. This is if you're in Cyrodiil. Remember, Battlegrounds, no CP. Elemental Expert, 1301. Spell Erosion. We're lacking penetration, right? So in Cyrodiil, we need more penetration, right? Because they have CP. So we're going to take Spell Erosion at 4,303. Coming into the Astronaut, we're only going to put 3 points into Staff Expert, just to even it out at 209. Why? Because we want 72 point in Master at Arms. Remember, we're dealing some direct damage on top of our dots. Valken Scorpion has a direct effect. Our Flame Lash has a direct effect. We want to capitalize on boosting that damage up. So we're going to put Master at Arms at 23. Now remember, we are a DK. We are dealing dots. So Thaumaturge is going to be at 13.13. If you want to put a little bit more into Thaumaturge, you can. But keep in mind, your direct effects would scale down at Master at Arms. All right. Coming over into the Warrior, Ironclad 1602. Resistance 1203. Hardy 909, Elemental Defender 1208, Thick Skin 611, Heavy Armor Focus 2909, Quick Recovery 6.17. If you want to put some into Bastion, you can. I wouldn't recommend it, but that's up to you. Not with this build, you won't need it really. Warlord 1208, we're going to be in the thick of shit, so we want to go ahead and reduce the cost of our break free. Tenacity 707. We're getting a 25 bonus to the heavy armor passive for recovery. We're just going to put a little bit more in there and kind of sweeten the deal when we're in Cyrodiil. Arcanus 14, Mooncalf 909, especially when we need to block. Now keep in mind, we're a sword and board. We get a cost reduction towards our block, right? So we're going to further that, get that a little further and reduce the cost even further in Cyrodiil by 23% in Shadow Ward. Tumbling 5.23, and that is how the champion points are allocated. I'm telling you guys, if you're tired of it, you're tired of getting burst down, you're tired of getting incapped, don't worry. Don't take no bullshit. Go ahead and charge like a bull, because guess what? You got wings, and this is Red Bull. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Mr. Craven, this CSO Daily, and as always, have a nice day.